Lesson 2-4, the distributive property. Our essential question, how can you use the distributive property to evaluate expressions? And our graphic here is just a very quick example of the distributive property. You can see that the A was outside the parentheses and B plus C was inside the parentheses. And they show arrows to show the A being distributed to the B and the C. So now it becomes AB plus AC. So that's just a really quick example. If you think it might help you, copy it down. We have one vocab word. Now this is kind of a lengthy definition, so just try to do your best in understanding it. Distributive property states that multiplying a sum or a difference by a number gives the same result as multiplying each number in the sum or difference by the number and adding or subtracting the products. So I think that'll make more sense once we start doing some of our examples, but go ahead and copy that down now. Okay, so when we do distributive property, we're really breaking down numbers. Now, in a few of our examples, sometimes we're going to break down numbers, and sometimes they're already going to be broken down for us, and we're going to have to figure out what they were before they got broken down. Okay, so in the distributive property, we have, in this example, 8 outside the parentheses and 7 plus 23 inside the parentheses. In the distributive property, whatever is outside of the parentheses gets distributed to both numbers inside the parentheses. So 8 times 7 plus 8 times 23. And that's what we have over here. Here's 8 times 7. And when you have a number outside the parentheses and a number inside and there's nothing in between, that means multiply. So we already have 8 times 7. And then our second part was this one, 8 times 23. So that's our missing number. So we're just breaking it apart. So now instead of doing the 7 plus 23 and then multiplying that by 8 like we would if we were doing order of operations, now we would do 8 times 7, 8 times 23, and then add those two answers together. Example number 2. So here is another way that we're kind of breaking it down. So we have 4 as our number on the outside, and then inside the parentheses we have 28, and that's the number that we want to break down. So they already broke it down into 20, so think to yourself, what's 28 minus 20? And we know the answer to that is 8. So that is our missing number because that's what's left over. If we were to add the 20 and the 8, we want it to add up to this number on the other side of the equation, 28. Okay, this one we are subtracting. So we have 8 on the outside of the parentheses. And then this one, they already broke it apart, and we're going to put this one back together. So we have 57 minus 7. And we know that 57 minus 7 is 50. So that's our missing number. We want, essentially what we're trying to do is to get this side to be equal to this side. We want the two sides of our equation to be equal. example number 4. So we have, this is very similar to one of our first examples, 5 on the outside. And then we're going to distribute that 5 to both numbers. So it becomes 5 times 26, 5 times 3. And we keep our operation the same, subtraction. So if I have 5 times 26 and 5 times 3, my missing number is going to be 26 because now I have 5 times 26 and 5 times 3. And here's my subtraction. So you're just distributing, remember, the number on the outside to both numbers on the inside, multiplying them. So multiplying the outside number with both numbers on the inside. I know this can seem a little tricky when you first get started. Please rewatch the video if you're confused. Of course, we're going to go over it more in class, so we will talk about it, we'll practice it a little more. But if you're very confused, rewatch the video and hopefully that will help. So for your practice problems, I want you to find the missing number like we were doing in the examples. Don't forget your word problem, question, either or, and rate your understanding.